Good day, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is another week where Jimmy and I are back, and we're here to talk and answer your questions, voice your concerns, and have some fun. I'm Jimmy. I'm excited to be back. I don't know what week it is anymore because I'm too busy having fun doing this. I thought we were done, but we just said, let's keep on rock and rolling with this. And you've got some Christmas magic going on in the background right now, so I'm really excited about that too. So tell us real quick, Jimmy, where you're at right now, what you're doing, and then let's get rock and rolling while I share this away to some groups real quick.
Yeah, no, awesome. Yeah, for sure. So we're up in Louisville, Kentucky, and we're getting ready for the big Hardscape Expo, Equip Expo, probably one of the coolest expos we get to be a part of every single year. All sorts of equipment and you name it. So it's a really cool show. So got finished up an awesome Omni training today with a great group of people, and then coming down here and putting the finishing touches on the display booth and getting ready for the next 3 days. So pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, I met you. I mean, it's September now, so that was probably about 6 months after I met Angela. We went out there like last second, flew out there to go to that event in 2023. What a huge and probably the biggest expo I've ever been to. There just massive amounts of vendor booths. That's inside. And then you go outside to the adult playground where you get to play with some toys and just excavators, mowers, side-by-sides, you name it. It's like an adult playground out there. So if you've never been to this event, I really think that like this is probably one to go to. And I always am an advocate of getting out of your industry events. Like stop going to everything that is focused on what you do, because in the end, business is business. And what you learn from other business owners, how they're doing things, or even the technology, the software they're doing things, there's just so many opportunities for you to meet other people, network, and just kind of see like what we could be doing better in our industry. And I really think Equip is probably one of the best ones just because of the massive size. Like you need it, like one, you need a map, two, you need some walking shoes, and three, you need a plan because that place is absolutely massive. But what an incredible opportunity to go to get out there. But we're not here to talk about the expo. We're here to talk about Christmas lights. Jimmy, it is. I mean, we got people chiming in already. Holy cow! Wow, nobody's wasting time here today. These people are ready to learn and ready to listen. It is October 21st. We are down to the final 2 weeks of October. I cannot believe it. I remember when we took the lights down, it seemed like forever getting to the month of September where we'd be installing lights. And now we're like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks away from November, which is go time. For the guys and girls out there that are doing Christmas lights, if you're not busy, I promise you it's not too late, but also like you need to start doing the things that we're talking about. So this live is for you. If you're showing up, if you're listening, if you have some questions, please go ahead and ask your questions. We want to hear from you. This is not the Jimmy and JC show. This is about you and how we can help you. I've had a ton of fun over the last several weeks with you, Jimmy, doing this, and we look to go for the next few weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks until we can't handle anymore. Or maybe it's people don't want to hear us anymore. I don't know. One or the other. I don't think either one's going to come first because I'm having too much fun doing this, and people are really kicking ass this season. So, again, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you're watching us live, go ahead and drop your comments or your questions in the comments. We really, really, really want to make sure that you're having an incredible season right now. I know our team is absolutely crushing it. I'm hearing it from a lot of guys across the nation. Jimmy, what are you hearing?
Yeah, it's. I hope the momentum keeps up. Right. I think that's all signs are looking at it. But so far, wild October. I think people are ready. I think people are kind of feeling a little bit more comfortable with the economy, and people are unleashing some money. And I think it's going to be a great year. And the funny thing is, I keep hearing about these massive commercial opportunities, and Omni is absolutely mind-blowingly on fire right now. The amount of people getting stuff, the amount of product that's moving from all distributors. Everybody had their forecast. All of the distributors had forecasts. We had the forecast. We're blowing those numbers to smithereens, which creates other challenges and obstacles. But sales are out there. People are opening up their checkbook, and some really cool opportunities, really cool jobs. And honestly, it feels like it was, during the COVID years where everybody was just landing jobs left and right. And what's really cool though is you're getting people that are understanding to sell jobs based off of experience and what they can provide, not just selling off a price. And had, like I said, an unbelievable group up here last 2 days here in Louisville, training up here, and it was really cool to hear some of these guys talk it, and a lot of guys from the Louisville area coming together, and it's so powerful. So it's unbelievable to see, and exciting momentum that we got going into the year, and I think keep riding that wave, and don't let up, don't let the pedal off the metal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for the ones that are out there that are watching, listening, maybe you're watching the replay, maybe you're not where you want to be this season. It's okay. I mean, not everybody is just having the season of their life right now. And it doesn't mean that you can't still have the season of your life going forward. There's plenty of opportunity to be successful. There's lots of things you could be doing right now over the next couple of weeks. I talk about it a lot in my Christmas therapy groups, things that we could be just doing every single day, especially on the weekends. I think that a lot of times people fall short on the weekends and they just kind of coast off and they're not reaching out to their clients. So if this is the one thing I want you to take away for if you're listening right now, don't miss out on trying to communicate with clients on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. Sundays, obviously, wait a little bit later, maybe 10 o'clock, if they're church, whatever, things like that. Drop a text message. But, for a lot of business out there right now, you're trying to get a hold of people who are busy, in their day-to-day lives. They probably want to use your services. They need to get their lights hung by somebody. And it is a good chance it's you. But every single time you may be reaching out to them and you're I call them, I email them, I text them, they're not responding. I can't tell you how many times that I've had contractors reach out to me, and it's just during the busiest time of my life that they're trying to reach out to me, and I need to get a hold of them. But every time they try, and it's a good opportunity for them, it is a bad opportunity for me. So do not neglect or miss out on taking advantage of Saturdays and Sundays, of sending a text message, making a phone call. So if you have an office staff, an admin team, get somebody to work 4 hours on Saturday, get somebody to work 2 hours on Sunday. And if that is just outbound calls and trying to get the ones that you can't get a hold of, whether it's past clients or new clients, take advantage of those opportunities on the weekends, because I promise you, something will start closing and biting, or they'll respond to you. I would rather hear no on a Saturday than have the office waste hours throughout the week trying to respond or get a response out of somebody. But if you take that time and use that opportunity wisely to follow up with people, send the messages. I love saying, hey, we only have 2 spots available before the season's over. Do you want to take advantage of that one spot? You got to get some urgency on these people. A lot of them are just so busy, they don't think about it. They're like, oh, I'll call them the week before Thanksgiving, and they'll have time for me. They just don't understand how busy you are and how busy you need to be right now. So you got to stress that urgency. We need to know now, or else I cannot guarantee you get those lights hung before the end of the season. So you got a very special message here, Jimmy.
Oh, boy. He did pretty good. He had a good week. We'll give it to him. He had a good week last week. 4 containers and, 2.5 days, 2 days. Yeah, he did pretty good.
Ooh, smoking it.
Yeah.
Blaine, I think the answer is no. He's running on Christmas spirit right now. I don't know, man. I don't know where you put.
I don't know what's over his camera. There's a lot of gray hair going on here. I don't know if it's bad lighting in here, but my gosh, I'm getting old.
Angela said, Jimmy, yeah, and that's where we met you 3 years ago, Jimmy. It was probably one of the first real conversations we had after I met you with Angela, or I met you and then I met you with Angela. We did the podcast radio with Turfs Up out there.
That's right.
That was a good time.
Yeah, the Turf Up radio's back here again. They guys just swing by a few minutes ago, so that's kind of a deja vu for sure.
Yeah, little flashback, right? Jimmy, give Don a call. He's got some questions for you.
He did text me, Don. I apologize. I got you. I will get up with you this evening.
Don, it ain't you, buddy. Jimmy's just busy, and he does the old back pocket mute because he's busy doing stuff. But he'll get back to you. So I appreciate you reaching out. Power washing sales drop, but everyone's taking lights. Blaine, I don't even think about pressure washing right now. We could sell $20,000 worth of pressure washing today, and it wouldn't mean anything to me. So yeah,
Hey, but let's
I'm
talk about that really quick
let's
because
do it.
I continue to hear guys say, I want to bag pressure washing. I want to get out of pressure washing. I want to get out of my core business. And man, I understand the money not might be the best in the world, and maybe it's not as big of a ticket. But before you pull the plug on pulling out of your core business, remember that is your core business. And if you pull out of your core business, what are you going to do to replace that revenue? Yeah, maybe you're not making a ton of money, but it's cash flowing your business. It's keeping your doors open year round. So maybe stop pricing to your competitors and trying to win jobs off of price. Price your jobs are at what they are. If that's a price, that's a price. And don't take as much work on. But at the same time, don't give up on your core. Just price jobs where you want to be making some money. And I think that will really set you guys apart. I hear way too many people being like, I'm done with it. I'm going to close it down. I'm going to shut it down at the end of this year. And I think that's a huge mistake. And you got to stick with your core. It's still keeping your name out there. It's still getting yourself contacts and customers, but maybe scale it back. So I would say scale back a little bit before you cut the head of it off would be my suggestion, because I hear this time and time again about that. And understand where people's priorities are. You know, if I have to decide, am I going to spend money in October, November, December on pressure washing before the leaves drop and make a mess of everything? Or can I put money in lights? What are people going to value and how are they going to do that? And that's a whole other thing to think about as well. So what's going to get people most excited right now to spend money? All right, cool. What's going to get most excited to spend money in January, February, March? All right, probably landscape lighting, maybe more permanent Omni lighting. And then what are you going to do March, April, May, June, July, the rest of the year? That's where your core business really needs to backfill off and fill your core schedule up. And then you supplement it with these lighting jobs as they come in. So I'm hearing that a lot, and I'll be honest, it makes me a bit nervous because this is what gotten people to this point. Don't trash it. Don't collapse it. Just price it where you want to be and take on less work. I think you could probably cut your jobs back in half and still be just as profitable, and by taking the jobs that you really want to have in the first place. So I'm seeing that a lot, and it does make me a bit nervous.
Yeah, and same mentality on my side. I just can't stand the washing. Like I said, you can sell a $20,000 pressure washing job today. I don't give two craps what it was. You sell a $5,000 Christmas light job, I want to know every detail about it. But in the end, like, I know that if without washing, like, there's nothing throughout the rest of the year. Now, 2026, different story. Omni will keep us going throughout the year. I think we'll be able to use the washing less to keep us going and focus more on the permanent lighting. I've got a really good plan for end of December, January to really build up the spring momentum for Omni. So I'm pretty excited about that, to roll that out to my clients this year. We're definitely going to lose some pressure or some Christmas Light clients, but when we're getting 3X, 4X for the installs for Omni, I'm fine with that because we'll also still be able to supplement other things like reeds, garland, things like that. Like we talked about, minis out in the yards, bushes, ground lights. So it's not a total loss, but having those large tickets in the springtime where we're generally slow with washing regardless, makes me pretty excited to keep the guys busy doing what they enjoy, which is lights, not so much with the washing. So yeah, great topic. Garrett, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hope you got a good leaf flow
Garrett's
going
got a
right
fun
now.
one coming up next week. You ready, Garrett? Better be ready.
Oh, is it time finally?
It's finally time.
Hell yeah. That's exciting. All right. Johnny's got a good question. What do you do when a customer doesn't want to follow your policy, such as 50% deposit? Are they well, it's your policy. It's not their policy. It's your policy. If they don't want to follow it, they're not a customer of ours. So it's pretty cut and dry. If you do not want to leave a 50% deposit, you do not get on our schedule. That's it. Like, you don't go and make your own rules when you walk into a grocery store. You don't go to a car dealership and say, this is what I want. Or you can't do that, but you don't say, this is how we're going to do things. So they just need to understand, if you want to work with Johnny, I need a 50% deposit to get you on my schedule. If not, you call me when you're ready, and I can't guarantee that a spot will be there. But it's very cut and dry. It's even for our clients who have been working with us for 7 years, 8 years, they're a 50% deposit to get on the schedule. That's it. There's no wiggle room. Now, maybe if like, hey, I'll have the money next week and then I'll give it to you. Okay, great. I'll put you on the schedule next week. But for us, it's pretty cut and dry. Jimmy, what do you think?
Yeah, no, it's no pay, no play. Bottom line, it's a pay-to-play program here, and if you're going to want our services, you're going to pay our way, and if you're not willing to, you're going to have 15 people lined up ready to take their spot. So, thanks but no thanks. This is a way, but that goes back to your screening process, right? In my opinion, when you have somebody answering that initial phone call, and they're talking through what they want, why they want it, you had to prescribe your process. Well, our process is we're going to prepare a proposal, we're going to give you rendering, whatever it is, we're going to give you an estimate. Our expectation is we're going to get 50% down. So ideally, that's something that's, almost tipped my amazing desk over. Ultimately, that's something that needs to be part of that screening process. That an admin or whoever it is, office manager, is going to run through the customer, so it's not a shock, and you don't go out there and waste a bunch of time. But bottom line is, someone's not willing to pay a 50% deposit. To me, that's they're raving red flags at you that they're not going to pay. Not only are they not going to pay 50%. They're probably going to find a reason not to pay anything at all. And I would run one far, far, far away from them. Any respectable business people, anybody that's buying any sort of service, that's very respectable. And if they're not willing to do that, I would throw them the peace sign and hit the road.
All right, so he came out with a caveat here. She was a client before, but he changed his policy. Yeah, I mean, for us, again, I mean, you changed the policy on her, so maybe situation's a little different. I don't know how long she's been a client, how much you like her, things like that. I mean, she's been a client before, she paid before, I think she'll pay again. But yeah, I mean, just to kind of reiterate, even when I'm doing estimates, I'm explaining to the customers, like, we will not put you on the schedule without the deposit. It's just cut and dry. So there's no wiggle room on any of that. So yeah, I mean, it's your business, you run ahead as you want. You kind of change the rules on her, so maybe I understand a little bit on that.
There's
but
trust there, right? Like, she trusts you. You've done what you've done. You've that to me is just maybe it's a financial pinch. Maybe it just doesn't have the cash flow at the time. And but shoot, it's a lot easier to pay money now in October than it would be to pay money in December when you're trying to buy everybody Christmas gifts and everything. So that's a weird one, man. But
yeah, I mean, if anything, you're helping her. Like Jimmy said, you're helping her pay now portion now and pay the rest later. But yeah, just have those conversations, and at the end of the day, she's your customer. You've worked with her before, so I think you have that. But Johnny, one thing, even going forward, to give a caveat to that for your new clients, like, it is a policy that we require to get your credit card on file, so that if there is an instance later on that something doesn't happen, we have the credit card on file. So, and it's not because we're out to try and scam anybody ever. No, it's not the case. But sometimes people are out to scam us, so we want to have collateral. So just keep that in mind as you build out. And I will also say, for anybody listening, like, if you're not having your clients physically, and I don't mean like paper and pen, like going out of the estimate and saying, hey, I'm Jimmy and I'm accepting my estimate for my roof lights and I agree to everything because I read your estimate. Well, they probably didn't read everything. So for us, and Jimmy, you might do things differently. Like, we send the contract, they agree to it, but then we also send a DocuSign that goes through our terms and conditions, that goes through everything, because we've had so many people in the past. I won't say so many. We've had probably in the last 6 years about a dozen people. It's usually about 3 or 4 people, or 2 or 3 people per year. Hey, I want my lights back. Well, that's not how it works. Like, we own the lights, we rent the lights to you. You sign that, and then they go back and read it. Like, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. Can you just go ahead and hand my lights back up, or I'm not going to use you guys' services anymore. Thank you. So, all right. Hi, Rick. How's it going, Rick?
Boy's fresh out of Omni training.
Hell yeah. Rick's a good guy, man. He's got some great charisma. Love his Facebook. Great energy. Let me see. Don, yep, he says deposit for sure. I always get it, or in full. I've never had we've had a couple people. Actually, I lied, because I look at my calendar for the next month. There's definitely a lot of people that have paid in full, so I do lie. We don't require it, but when they do pay it, I'm all about it. So, hello, Derek. It's good to see you. And Blaine, I will say this, man. It does make sense. It really does make sense, because people who spend money on Christmas are not your pressure washing client. They are just different. They're wired differently. They think differently. They care about things differently. They don't care about what the outside of their home looks like during the day. They love to see their house lit at night. So they're willing to spend $2,000. I've had clients that spend $5,000 that won't spend $500 on washing. So it's just a completely different mindset when it comes to selling lights. It used to frustrate me, but at this point, I'm like, I get it. You really have a lot of love for the season. It means a lot to you, and you just don't care about what your house looks like and don't want to spend the money for washing. I'm fine with that. Just keep send that check every single year for the Christmas lights, and I'll still love you. So, let's see. That was helpful. Yeah, Johnny, just keep it going with new clients, man. Like I said, just stay firm to your policy. We talk about it when we do our pre-screening for our clients and let them know it's required to be, once you get the estimate, it is a requirement. But just make sure they know that throughout the whole process, so it's not a surprise. Oh, I got to do this in order to get on the schedule. But more importantly, like now, especially now coming up with November, like there's not going to be a guaranteed date for you if you don't get on the schedule. And you don't get on the schedule if you don't give me the deposit. So do you want your lights or not? Because tomorrow I can't guarantee it. Right now, while I'm here, I can guarantee I get you on the schedule. You got to stress that sense, like that urgency to them. You may not be extremely busy right now, but in 2 weeks, November 1st, that phone is going to change and you're going to be busy. So as long as they have a reason or a way to get a hold of you, stand by and be prepared. All right. Jimmy, how do you feel about this one? I'll tell you my thoughts after I hear your thoughts.
Honestly, yeah, I would do it. I would refund it. If you haven't made an investment in an additional product, that's a special order product. At the end of the day, maybe somebody just didn't feel it. Something financially came up and it was a burden on them. I think at that point, it is what it is, and there's just a part of you that wants to do the right thing. Now, once again, if you got an investment, you put some money out there on the line and you've got a commitment that you've engaged, so be it, but I personally, I would refund them the money. I think that's the right thing to do. Now, if it's the day before and you can't place a schedule, maybe there's a window gap there, right? Maybe cancel up to within 10 days or something. I'm going to refund you. And anything beyond that, I'll give you 50% of it back or something like that. But I think at the end of the day, maybe that will be a customer next year. And, that's how I look at it is if you haven't lost any money in the situation, don't stick it to them just because it's a deposit. That's my personal opinion.
I personally like to put my Grinch costume on and say, ha ha ha, no, and send them a video. No, I don't do that. But it would be pretty funny. No, and it is our policy. Like, it is a non-refundable. It says in the contract, you signed the contract. Have we had an instance where we told the customer no? Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the beginning, like what Jimmy said, like when we order stuff and it's there, especially very young phase, and like you're relying on the client's deposit to purchase lights. Definitely, absolutely. Like, I bought these lights for you. Can I use them again later? Yeah, but I bought them for you, and I can't guarantee that. Have we had clients where stuff happens, life happens, death, travel, kids, whatever it is? Yeah, I mean, we have a heart. At the end of the day, we're doing this obviously to make money, but Christmas is like a very personal, like emotional time of the year for people. And when life happens, life happens. So, you got to make that decision based off of what you feel. But like Jimmy said, if the money is in the account and I have the money to give back, I'm going to give it back to them. And I've had a couple people where we told them it was non-refundable, but we still end up giving it back to them. But yeah, but I always tell everybody.
Yeah, I actually just remembered there was a customer, man, this was many, many, many years ago, like probably 10 years ago. And I did have to order a lot of products for them. And what I ended up doing was I just said, you know what, I ordered the product, and I gave them the amount of product what we ordered for them for the deposit check, just so that we could make them whole. And that customer actually came back to us the next year and is still a customer to this day. And I probably bet you they've spent, my gosh, they probably spent with us well over $200,000-$300,000 since it was 10, 12 years ago. So sometimes just doing the right thing, the ethical right thing, can go a long, long way. And I actually just had another customer reach out that hasn't been a customer of ours for over 7, 8 years, I think she had said. And just fresh off of a separation. And she's like, I want to get lights back done. Who can I go? And, who can I go with? So you do the right thing. You take care of people in situations. And that was a tough situation when we'd actually installed their lights one year. And then stuff hit the fan and we took care of them. So that goes a long way. Do the right thing sometimes, really works.
So let's go back to deposits, because I've got a $13,000 hole in my wallet still. And it's funny because Ramon reached out to me today asking about it, and I actually forgot. So if anybody needs some pole REITs, commercial pole REITs for a municipality, city, something like that, I've got a butt ton sitting in my warehouse right now. So 3, maybe one last year. So 2 years ago, a city verbally agreed to a job late season, and I reached out to Luke, and I said, Luke, I need these freaking REITs. He's like, well, you better order it right now or else you're not going to get them. We're so busy. I'm like, all right, put in the order for X. Let's just get them going. Get them in, send the money to Luke. Client comes back and says, yeah, you know what? We decided we're not going to use you. We're going to use somebody else. What the what? Like, no, you guys told us you're doing it. Well, yeah, no, we changed our mind, so we're not doing it. Well, I'm not going to go back to Luke and say, Luke, they backed out. You already have built our REITs. So cancel that order and give my money back, because I'm a man of my word. So I got burned on like $14,000, maybe $15,000 on some commercial REITs that are still sitting brand new in a box in my warehouse. I probably should have told you about that, Jimmy. Probably freaking get rid of me. Because I forgot about it until today when Ramon called me and asked about him. But yeah, so I had a $15,000 hole literally 2 years ago that just burned me because I went against our policy to try and get some stuff done to meet the freaking deadline for the client because they were late. And they ended up burning me like a city. And I went back and forth with the mayor and the finance guy, and they said, the hell with you. We don't care. We don't have anything in writing, and it's your word against ours. So, yeah, no matter how good you want to be to people.
But you know what? But that phenomenal learning experience. And I see Stacy Jordan just jumped on here a minute ago. I know she's been through this too. Be careful with these municipalities. This is a regular occurrence where they commit and decommit. Do not ever, ever, ever spend a penny on anything for a municipality until you have not only a signed contract and a deposit. Because I hear of this, knock on wood. I don't have anything wood to knock on. Knock on Santa's chair right now. I've not heard of it this year, but every year I hear 3 or 4 of these situations where guys are getting burned by municipalities with a last-minute committal, and all of a sudden someone comes sweeping through and says, you know what, the money's not there, that's not the budget, and it is not good. So, yeah, that could be brutal.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up real quick for you, Stacy, while I figure this out. But, yeah, it sucked, man. I was not happy. And I actually forgot about it till today. So, Ramon, thank you for reminding me. Maybe I can get those offloaded while we're on this call. So, Don, I mean, he learned that too. He's still trying to get invoice paid. I don't know how long ago that was, Don, but oof, that's no fun. I'm sure they'll pay as soon as they want those lights fixed, though. All right. Great questions. All right. So if you're just joining us, please, this is your time to ask questions. It could be about anything when it comes to Christmas lights, how to market, how to get sales, team culture, morale, whatever it is. Right now is your time. If you're not busy, you should be busy. You need to get busier. Busy is right around the corner, November 1st. I mean, it's like a light switch. And I strongly recommend having somebody working Saturday, November 1st. Once the Halloween's over, people start thinking about Christmas. And if you're not answering the phone on Saturday, next Saturday, literally next Saturday, not this coming one, next Saturday, November 1st, the day after Halloween, like if you're not answering, the other company will be, and they'll be getting this estimate sent off to them, and you'll be missing out on opportunities. So if you're spending any type of marketing dollars, any type of outreach to your clients, strongly urge if you don't do it this Saturday, at least by next Saturday, November 1st, you have somebody answering your phones. I don't care if it's a third party marketing service, if it's a VA, if it's your baby's mama, sisters, daughters, uncles, daddies, cousin. I don't care who it is. Like, have somebody answer that phone. As a business owner, I don't encourage you to do the phone answering. That's just my personal opinion. I think as a business owner, you have other things to be taken care of. But if you do not have somebody answer that phone on November 1st, you will be missing out on thousands and thousands of dollars. So make it happen. You have 12 days to figure it out. All right, next question. I don't think. I will say, like, there's always going to be that occasional client who thinks they should have got more because maybe the sale was not presented properly or the communication wasn't clear on what they're getting, or they spoke to multiple companies and they went with your service. It was giving them exactly what they asked for, but they heard something different from somebody else. We've had that happen before, but it's not often, Joe. That's my answer is not often. No, it's occasional, but it's not often. That's why it's very important to have clear estimates that define everything you're doing, and just making sure that you follow up through the season. Like, don't just hang the lights and take the lights down. Make sure you follow up after the install, right before Christmas, and in January to make sure there's anything we can be doing to make this better for them. Because there's always an opportunity after the install that they may not be happy, and we have to go back and fix it. But if we don't ask the questions, we don't know until it's too late.
I mean, at the end of the day, they got buyer's remorse because it put them in a financial bind. I mean, nothing you can do there. I mean, you're providing happiness, and I mean, people put themselves. I mean, how many of these big fancy houses do we go into, over the years where it's a gorgeous $3 million home and you show up and there's zero furniture in it? People are in buyer's remorse every day, all day long. So at least they're buyer's remorse, and at least you got something happy for it, right? So I don't know. That's an interesting question, but I would. I've never heard of anything, and even if people did, I don't know if they would really express it that way.
All right, so if anybody's asking or wants to know, I have 24 36-inch double-sided pole mount reeds with C7 lights and mounting brackets ready to go. Holy shit. I have 24 of them. Still in boxes, brand new. I'll even put a bow on the outside of them and sell you for exactly what I bought them for on August 14, 2023. I will not mark it up to the 2025 pricing, which is probably, at this point, $5,000 more than I pay for them. So 24 36-inch double-sided reeds ready to go. I will personally sign every single box for you if you're looking for the best pricing on double-sided reeds right now. 24 ready to go. Damn it. Thanks, Ramon, for calling me out on that one today. I appreciate you. Honestly, I mean, I even talked to Zeke, who does my my Google ads right now, and organic is absolutely crushing it, along with yard signs. Absolute everything right now. Google ads is doing okay, but our organic right now is absolutely crushing it. And I don't even do SEO. I don't pay for SEO, but Zeke told me that across the nation right now, organic SEO is on fire compared to paid Google ads right now. I don't do Facebook ads, so I don't have an answer for that. Maybe I don't know if you talk to people about what they're seeing right now.
No, Facebook's hit or miss. I mean, I know Ashley's kind of got that on lockdown, I feel like. But I'll be honest. I think everything people are doing right the key right now is going back to people want to do business with people. So where is a place that you can be a local person? People, Identify you as a local person, as an individual, not just a corporation or some big fly-by-night people. I think what I keep hearing is people want to do business with people. So pick up the phone, call them back, make the experience of the sales process an experience. Show up to do the sales call. And these things, the people are just ready to spend the money. You just got to, there again, I think to answer your question, Dave, spend your money on your avatar customer. If your typical customer is a certain age or a certain demographic or have a certain home value, put as much money that you can target directly to those people as possible. And that's the best thing that you can do. Right now, these marketing companies, I hate so many of these marketing companies. I think they're scams. I think they're ripoffs, and they get you impressions, they get you clicks, they get you calls, they don't get you leads. And you need to know what your cost per acquisition is, right? So ROI, understand my cost, what am I getting in return? But more importantly, if something's working, double down. If something's not, pull the plug. So every market's going to be different too, because you're reaching a different demographic in every market, right? Some markets, Christmas isn't even a thing yet. They're not even thinking about it because, whatever the weather is or the conditions are, we're getting our first cold spell. I mean, here in Kentucky, it's pretty daggone cold. But it's put the money where your buyers are. Don't just throw these huge cast nets. That's what these marketing companies are doing. They're throwing these big, massive nets and reaching a lot of people that aren't your target buyers. And I think it's toxic, it's unhealthy, and it's making businesses hurt. And put your face out there as much as you can. People want to do business with their neighbors and people that live in their community. They don't want to do business with robots or emails. They want to have a relationship. Again, that's coming back full circle. So if you can figure that out, go get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a good point, though, Jimmy. Like, what works in my market, and Dave, you are technically my market, so I'm not saying this to you. It's for whoever's listening. Like, what works in my market does not always mean it will compute to work in your market. So just because Facebook works for somebody across the nation doesn't mean it's not working for you. So you got to really diversify your marketing. Don't miss out on the free stuff. I mean, there's so many Facebook opportunities next door. Paying, and this costs money, obviously, but paying somebody to go do yard signs, paying somebody to do door hangers. Don't just sit there and say, I hang Christmas lights and wait for the phone ring. And the end of the season, like, this season sucked. No, the season didn't suck. You just were lazy and didn't want to spend money to get the calls coming in to do the things. And when the phone rang, you probably didn't even answer the freaking phone in the first place. So the guys that are doing the things that needed to be doing to be successful right now are doing everything. They're diversifying the portfolio. They're doing the yard signs, the door hangers, the Google ads, the Facebook ads. They got wrapped vehicles. They're asking for referrals, all the things. The ones that are out there just like, I'll just wait and put 2 yard signs out and spend $50 on Facebook. Oh, this season sucked. No. You're being lazy. Just because other people are making money and they're doing the right things and you didn't make money and did the wrong things doesn't mean the season sucked. It just means that you didn't do the right things because you were afraid to commit. Maybe you didn't have the finances to do it, whatever it is. But again, there's still many free opportunities to be successful out there. So don't fall short and just use one form of marketing. And again, I'm not directing this at anybody. Don't use one form of marketing and just say like, well, this is a flop this season. You really got to diversify. And if one's not working, like Jimmy said, shut it off and move on to the next one. But we're still very early in the season right now. November 1st is right around the corner. And most people just are not thinking about Christmas right now. They're thinking about Halloween and Halloween only. That's all they care about. And then once Halloween's over, and literally at 10 p.m., October 31st, people start thinking about Christmas. It's like Ghost away, Grinch is out. Here we come, baby.
All right, I got a quick little challenge. JC,
Uh-oh.
This is a challenge for you.
Uh-oh.
Best neighborhood in your market is, are you drinking a margarita?
No, it is a beer Rita. Angela gave it to me. Our Tuesday tradition is drink some margaritas before we get on and talk with you. So got to keep it going. My best neighborhood, Landfall.
All right, Landfall. Can't solicit in Landfall, right?
Nope. Luckily, I own the entrances, so
I think I want you to go to the second best neighborhood, the first best neighborhood that you can knock on doors, and knock on 20 doors as an experiment. And I want to see what happens.
Actually, funny story. Angela and I are going to do this. She wants to challenge me. I call BS. She is way better looking than I am, and people will want to talk to her. So I want to go do door to door with her, and really, and actually want to do it with my daughter too, because I thought bringing a kid with me would actually keep people from shutting the door in my face. But I think
I
doing
like
it
the
with
homeless guy in
Angela,
the corner that used her kid as bait.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win, dude. I'm gonna win. But yes, sometime it won't be next Saturday or this Saturday because I got a freaking half Ironman that I have not trained for. So it might be next Saturday. Yeah, November 1st. We're doing it. We're actually going to use our neighborhood, go to our neighborhood and one of the neighborhood and go door knock. And that's the plan. Like, just door knock and prove that door knocking works. So stay tuned. November 1st, Angela and I, and probably my kids will be out there door knocking. I'm going to bring both the kids and really have the pity trips at that point. But we're doing it on a Saturday because I want people home and I really want it to be like, to make sense. If I go knock 50 doors during the week on Monday through Friday, midday, half the people probably aren't going to be home. So the numbers really won't make sense. But on the weekends, especially after Halloween, they're going to be taking down their Halloween decorations. And I'll catch them right there. Like, hey, the Halloween's down. Let's talk about Christmas, baby. We're here. And give an estimate right there and try and get on the schedule that week. So I will do that, Jimmy.
We talk about intention a lot. It's like one of my favorite words right now. Just be intentional. And what's more intentional than going after the people that you know are your buyers? And what's the worst thing that's going to happen? No, 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 no. But how many people do you have to reach to get a yes the other way? How much does it cost for you to go knock on a door and have fun with it? You know, spread the cheer, whatever it is. Like I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it's going to work. And I think it would be really cool. I do think Angela would smoke you, but that's okay. You can cheat just a little bit. You know,
well,
whatever you get to do.
The shitty part about that is if she went out, like, she would definitely get them to want to get an estimate, but she couldn't give the estimate. So that's why I was like, look, babe, I'll just be in the corner, and then you give me the nod, and I'll freaking run in and start giving some estimates.
You got to wear an elf outfit, and then you got to wear a Santa outfit. And then she says, let me tell Santa, I'll have him come over now and give you a quote. Like, what an experience that would be. Holy shit.
All right. We've got more comments tonight than I've ever seen before. So if you got some comments, please keep the comments going. I'm not even like, Jim, I got like 20 more to go through. So let me figure this out. I lost where I just was. All right, Dave. All right. Do you do all your quotes in person or just over a certain budget? No. I love this question, and I'm glad you asked this, Cameron. And I'm going to give you a story about a customer I went to yesterday. Every single customer is in person, with the caveat, we had a client that was maybe a little bit outside of our normal range. So I did send them a virtual estimate today for two of them because they're like in the same area, a little bit outside of our range. But if they accepted, we would make sure they only get their lights installed when we're there. So that's the caveat. However, budget, no, there is no budget. Obviously, they need to understand that our minimum is this and our average ticket is this. So prime example, went to an estimate yesterday personally by myself and went out. Funny story, talking to the husband. Husband comes out, starts talking. He's like, hey, we want to do this. And then we want to put lights out in the backyard. Wife opens the door. Are you talking to him already? Wait for me. Slams the door, comes outside, repeats everything. So I went through the whole spiel, gave him the whole thing. We're here doing the estimate, custom install lights, put everything in timer, stay bright, Christmas guarantee, come back, take the lights down. We'll keep them in our warehouse. You don't have to worry about moving lights 20 times throughout the year, blah, 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 blah. Cool. Talk about doing the roof line. Talk about adding a wreath. Talk about doing some columns. She's like, well, let's go back and look at the back of the fence line. We'll talk about the fence line. Walk to the side of the house. Well, I didn't give her a price yet, but she's like, does that include the side of the house? I'm like, no. We were only talking about the front of the house. If you want an additional price, we'll give you the price for the side of the house. But you're probably around $2,000 right now. She's like, $2,000? I was like, didn't our office explain to you that our average ticket is $2,200 or $2,000? I told her, but it's really $2,200. She's like, yeah, they did, but I really wanted to be around $750. I'm like, oh. But it's like, well, right now you're probably around the $2,000. She's like, all right, well, let's forget about the back. I was like, all right, well, let me go measure everything up real quick. Give me 15 minutes. I'll come knock on the door. So I measured everything up real quick. 2161 was the price. Pretty freaking spot on to our average ticket. Knock on the door. They come outside. Husband and wife stand on the porch. All right, so-and-so, you talked about doing the roof line. We talked about doing the wreath. We talked about wrapping these 4 columns here to keep everything symmetrical. Let me go through the pricing real quick. Roof line is this. Columns is this. Wreath is this. She's like, well, what's the total? I'm like, 2161. Perfect. Let's do it. She goes inside, slams the door in my face, leaves the husband outside with me, and they booked the freaking job, and we're installing tomorrow. So, with that being said, do not sit there and say, well, they only want to spend $750, which she did. She even put on the estimate form, I only want to spend $750. She just locked in a $2161 job that I sold on Monday, and we're installing tomorrow. So, do I wait for a certain budget? No, because when I go there and I deliver the value and show them what's possible, then the magic happens. And all of a sudden that budget that they had in their head is absolutely gone and they're ready to freaking work with you. So, that's my answer to that, Cameron. I hope it was what you wanted to hear. Maybe not what you needed to hear. I don't know, but that's my answer. So.
Well, once again, though, know your avatar, know your typical customer, and know, is this a conforming quote? Is this somebody that I need to screen harder? Or is this someone that I'm just going to, you know what, I'm so excited for the opportunity, I'm just going to go out there. So if you know it's a $2 million house, do I really need to start saying, hey, my minimum is $1,500? No, just go out there because chances are that's your avatar client. Don't belittle them. And so just I think you got to be very smart with knowing who you're dealing with, and don't necessarily always judge a book by the cover, but at the same time, if they're your target avatar, you might have a little bit different of a process of how you're going to procure them than somebody that might not be your typical avatar.
See, I got it, and that's why I love talking with you, Jimmy. I got to disagree with this, Jimmy. Like, I really, 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 I don't care what the numbers say. I do not think there is like the avatar for a Christmas light fanatic who wants to have lights in their house. And I say this because 3 weeks ago, I went to a $1.8 million home in Landfall. My target avatar, everything that I love, everything that I want to see, where I have a lot of clients. He did not want to spend more than $750. And he knew our average ticket was $2,000. Still called me out there and he said, it's way too much. I don't want to spend it. So, And I've had clients who live in $300,000 homes and are spending $2,000. I've got a client who lives in a $500,000 home who has spent $7,000 on lights the last 2 years with us. So I love that we need to have an avatar, but also I don't want anybody to ever look at a neighborhood, a customer, a potential buyer and say, they are not going to spend money with me, because I promise you the first time you do that, you're going to sell yourself short. Try and give them the lowest thing possible just because you think they're going to say no, and they're going to come back and say yes. And you're like, shit, I should have gave them more. So.
Well, yeah, and let me clarify. My point is your screening process might be different.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So if you have somebody that's a $2 million, do I go down the rabbit trail of average price? Because what if a $2 million home is 10,000 square foot house? You don't want to tell them my average ticket is $2,000, because chances are they're not going to be able to do anything but barely with that house for $2,000. So what I'm saying is, don't so much worry about what their budget is. Understand your avatar and what am I going to approach? What's my threshold? How do I want to screen this versus how do I want to screen that? Completely agree. Everybody could be a buyer. The other thing to remember, if somebody does give you a budget, if they give you a budget of $1,000, I would pretty much suggest you give them a quote for at least 1.5 times whatever that budget is, because if that's their budget, that's just a would-be nice number. That's not a hard fixed number, right? We all have budgets, but we always blow our budget, right? So I think a budget number is a goal. A budget number isn't the end-all be-all. I know we talked about that previously. You quote a little bit higher, and you will be able to convert.
Stacy, I know we said you're on here earlier. Jimmy is at Equip up in Louisville right now, just rocking out with some lawn care guys. Jimmy, how have you seen the growth of lighting in the lawn care industry over the last 4 years? Just kind of curious personally.
Not a whole lot.
Interesting.
The landscaping side of the industry is a constant. Obviously the natural progression is landscape lighting first, and there's a lot of people that are intimidated by landscape lighting, which blows my mind because landscape lighting is honestly easier than Christmas lights, in my opinion. But no, I wouldn't say there's a ton of growth. And I think really the real reason is the landscape industry has been so strong since COVID that guys have it's been so strong, but yet at the same time it's given the guys the ability to refocus and really rehone what they're doing and figure out where they're at. So guys are really focusing on their business and getting deep within their landscaping and not trying to go too wide. So the Christmas side of things is strong, don't hear me wrong, but I wouldn't say there's a crazy amount of growth like we've seen in other industry segments.
Good feedback. It surprises me because some market, and I guess it really depends on what they diversify into. If they're doing fall cleanup, if it's more colder climate, if they rolling into snow removal. Some guys just stay busy. Some guys don't even want to deal with it. Some guys just don't even have the manpower to figure it out, or the mentality. But I always thought it was a great segue for that industry to roll right into it. But from what I've seen, they're not overly excited about it. So,
well, the thing of it is you got to remember, especially in the South, landscaping season's key month is October, and even the first part of November. So a landscaper season will not start until at the very, very earliest November 1st. They don't have the bandwidth to do other than that. So they just don't have the luxury of being able to start in October, because that is a crucial month for planting, sod, seeding. And then, obviously they turn around and do leaf removal, and then up north you're dealing with a lot of snow. So I think there's a bandwidth issue there, and the guys have done a really good job of filling up that gap that they need to fill, but they don't need to grow a ton year after year. It's just supplemental growth, and we're seeing that. It's just not a ton of people entering the space at this point.
All right, I have some crazy cities coming up, so if I need them. All right, Don, yeah, you know the numbers. Well, you don't know the numbers. You know the quantities. I'll give you the numbers. If you be ready to cover all the amounts ahead of time, be ready. They can be amazing, or they can be a real pain in the ass. Yeah, they bit me in the ass on that one, Stacy. Still burning. Sell them to Stacy. Stacy, had you been around for me 2 years ago, I would have given it to you. All right. Joe says we did municipality 2 years or for 2 years last year. Took him. Oh, that sucks, Joe. That's no fun. Not much recourse on that other than maybe your contract and going back after them. But all right.
Benjamin.
Jimmy, I go both ways in this one. Like I got 2 Omnis next week, which I typically don't do, but I am doing them next week because I have a little bit more time personally next week. So, but typically in the past, I have not. Jimmy, you've got more experience with businesses out there. What are they doing? Are they adding more guys? Are they making the time, or what's going on? You said Omni's on fire right now.
What I think, if you got an opportunity pre-Halloween, you got to get the Omni up, because people are going to be able to duel that, right? So up until Halloween, up until probably next week, I think you try to get those Omnis in. If you don't have the bandwidth past November 1st, you offer them temporary holiday lighting, and then you're going to give them a great deal on that Omni. You're going to give them a percentage off once you come back and take down the temporary lights. You just go ahead and take that opportunity, but don't turn it down. Don't pass it up, because if you pass it up, maybe they're not going to do the permanent now anyways. So get them in, get them to know your culture, get them to know your company, trust you, and then I would then offer them a nice little deal come January, February, March, whatever the weather's looking good, for you to get that Omni up. That's what I would do if you don't have the bandwidth. But we do have a lot of guys that are just keeping one crew, 1, 2, or 3 person crew, staying dedicated to Omni through the whole season. And I think if you got the amount of leads coming in and justify that, by all means, go get it. I mean, that's huge. But if you don't have, if you yourself have to be one of those people on that crew, or it's your main Christmas, leads or whatever it is, then no, I think you got to focus on that core and then just figure out a way to keep them in the hopper and be able to come up with a game plan to help them out. When takedowns are done.
Yeah, I think at this point it's hard if you don't have a crew trained up for Omni. Like it's hard to get them trained up to be keeping busy. So maybe something you focus on next year as you get more involved in Omni or permanent lighting, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be Omni, but but yeah, at this point I think it's too late to figure that out. If they're not ready, as far as your team to do it without you, and it's relying on you, you need to make that decision if you want to be out there doing it. I made the personal decision that I don't want my guys doing it. So I'll be out there next week doing 2 jobs. And next year, January, like Jimmy said, like if they want Omni, when those lights come down in January, we were giving them one hell of an offer to get some lights up in February and March. And I strongly am confident that we're going to crush February and March numbers with some permanent installs. And I'm really excited about it. It's going to be freaking cold, but I want to give our clients the opportunity to take advantage of a discount to keep my guys busy. It's a win for everybody, so we'll keep doing it. I might need them. All right, I got you. Stacy, I'll sign them. I'll put a bow on them. I'll put some Christmas glitter, and I'll even send it from the North Pole.
You can't put one bow on a double-sided wreath, bud. You got to take 2 bows.
No, I'm putting a bow on the outside of the box, and I'm sending it to her.
Oh, just a big bow. Okay, all right.
It's a Lowe's bow. It's a real cheap bow, I promise you, but it's a bow. Joe, I mean, I don't care if it's, Texas Roadhouse, Texas Steakhouse, Texas Jimmy House. It's a freaking opportunity, so put them up there. Have you got anybody that's on a steakhouse yet or Roadhouse?
I'm trying to think who owns Texas Roadhouse. What restaurant group is that? That's not Darden, is it?
I don't know. I don't do chains.
Yeah. I personally think there'd be a hard time getting the budget for it pulled together, especially short term. But I think if you can crack that, that's a big crack. Restaurant groups, entertainment places, they understand the power of lighting and what it can do for their business. And I would say Texas Roadhouses are generally pretty kind of dark and dreary. So go get it.
Dirty.
You show them the red, white, and blue patriotic type of a look that you can do on there. Oh, yeah, for sure.
It'd be a great one for a demo, especially nighttime, to let them see what the opportunities are. So shout out to Lights for Decorators, quoting a 7-story building wreath hanging. I would love to see that, Jason. Please let me see that one, dude. That's awesome, dude.
Jason's got all his ropes. I don't know what he's doing. He looks like he's on. Well, look at his picture.
He's roping from that thing.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's like a rope hanging, tree swinging, Tarzan and type of a guy these days. So I guess he's hanging off of buildings, hanging wreaths now. So that'd be pretty cool.
All right, Jesse's closing 25% on Facebook right now. Hey, man, I mean, it's a great number, especially this early in the season, so I'd be very happy with that. I don't know what your ad spend is. Or Jesse, sorry.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'd be excited for that. Stacy said people buy from people. Absolutely. You got to get out there. I mean, you got to get out there, talk about the value. I mean, I love hearing stories when I talk to clients. Like I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. Actually, two of my clients, my therapy clients, I got on the phone with their salespeople and just kind of talked to them about what the conversation looks like with the client. And I think far too often, especially if it's not the business owner or even some business owners out there that don't understand Christmas lights, they just want to add it on as a service to make some money. Like Christmas lights is not transactional. Like it's very personal, emotional sale. And to get out there and talk to the client on a personal level and really understand why they're hanging lights, but also ensure them and the reassurance of like, we're doing this because we want to give you the best experience out there without bashing other customers or companies, because I cannot stand that. You don't need to bash another company to say you're the best. I promise you. You don't need to have to bring up another company to talk about the quality you can give them or the value you can deliver. But by doing this and getting out there and talking to them, walking around the house, giving them the lookbook, showing what's possible. Again, that's why I love the in-person estimates. I'll go back to the lady yesterday who only wanted to spend $750, and we started talking about things. I said, look, we put a wreath up over here over this window, a 48-inch wreath with a red bow. Oh, I never even thought about that. I'm like, what about your columns? Are we doing anything with columns? We can do some warm white lights wrapped around the 4 columns. You have 5, but I like symmetrical, so let's just do the 4 columns. Oh, that's a brilliant idea. Let's do that too. Like, had I just done this over the phone or just sent an email and says, warm white lights on roof line, wreath, wrap columns, 2161, it would have been a hard no, absolute hard no. There was no emotion there. It was just strictly numbers, strictly a sale, and they wouldn't have bought it, and it would have gone to the next person who showed up. So you got to show up for your clients. If not, they're not going to show up and take care of you guys. Dave, we love you, buddy. Let's see. There we go. The Stephen Store behind quoting pulled out a brochure I gave them in January. Hell yeah. And that's what it's all about, showing up. That's why it's so important to be showing up these, especially commercial clients, and leaving something behind. If you leave them something tangible, they're not likely going to throw it out. They might just throw it on the side, but when they're ready to want to need that or use it, then they're going to call you. But if they don't have it, they have no way of getting a hold of you. If they go to Google, they're going to find the first person that shows up. All right, Jimmy, where you are. Jesus Christ. Let me fly through this real quick. I got this one. Angela says she already challenged me to this. She knows she's going to lose, but whatever. I'll still show up with her. Turns out Radio's listening. That's a good thing.
Yeah, see, they just stopped by.
Yeah. Sweet. What up, Turf Radio? We love you guys. Full energy. I mean, another Jason coming back in with this one. I mean, they won $2,500. They spent $3,700. You got to give them the opportunities that they can have on their property. Don't just give them exactly what they want, and tell them, like, look, I will give you a line item estimate. You can pick and choose what you want. If you want to stay within your budget, that's fine. But I want to show you the opportunities that are available. If I do not deliver you what is available or possible for your property, I am doing myself a bad service, and I am disrespecting your property by not showing you what's possible out there. So it's so important. They don't know about spritzers. They don't know about ground lights. They only know about roof lights. Most people think, I want white lights on my roof and maybe a wreath. That's all they think about. They don't know about the garland. They don't know about spritzers. They don't know about ground lights. They don't know about bush wraps. They don't know. I mean, all these different things are out there. So make sure you give them all the opportunities that are available for their property. Let's see. All right, Jimmy, I think we got to – I mean, Jimmy, you got time? I mean, what's up to you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to bring me some dinner.
Angela's downstairs with dinner waiting for me. So let's see. We've offering discounts. Let's see. We have been offering discounts after Christmas, like taking the cost of the price.
I wouldn't take the whole cost off. I would just give them a 15, 20% off. 15 for 20% of the value of the temporary is what I would give them off of the Omni install if it was up to me.
Oh man. No. But it's a great product that's out there. Glad you took the class and learn from it, see what's possible, but one, you'll never hear us talk bad about a product. That's just not how we operate. But I invite you to get to an Omni training to see what Omni can offer to you, see what the difference is. There are many installers out there that have multiple different products out there that's in their belt, if you will. And you will find that a lot of people that are using that product that you're talking about are switching over to Omni. For the simplicity of the install, simplicity of the app, so many different things. So learn from it.
Hey, it's great to have options. We totally encourage you to have options. We don't expect everybody all Omni all the time. Inception, the owner Vince, is a great guy. Got nothing but positive things to say about him. He's been around a long time. The good news is Inception's not really part of the Blue Hopper situation anymore. They've kind of got that separated, and I got nothing but respect for Vince and his product. And it's great to have a couple of different options in your arsenal. So, definitely wish you the best of luck with it. And you know, and hopefully that all goes great. So just keep on grinding, and yeah, if we'd love to host you at an upcoming Omni event as well, and offer both.
Yeah, and this goes for anybody in any permanent lighting product they're using other than Govee. I think if you're installing Govee, you really shouldn't be a professional installer. That's like the DIY kind of handyman hack product. But like, I don't care if you're using Omni. I don't care if you're using Inception. I don't care if you're using Minley. I don't care if you're using Trimlight. I don't care if you're using Aleo. I want you to know everything about all of them. Like, be equipped to be able to talk professionally and know the differences so that if a client does say, hey, I'm getting a quote or I got a quote from them, what are the differences? You can talk with a clear mind without trying to BS your way through it to understand the differences. And there are definitely some differences, and some of them are very similar. But it's very important that you do some research and understand all the products out there, because there's going to be a good chance that you're going to go do a quote and they got 3 other quotes from 3 different products and they want to know why you're better. And for you to be able to do this intelligently without bashing the other products and say they suck and we're better because, will make you stand apart from the other guys that are probably doing that and saying, don't use this company because of blah, blah, blah. Don't use that one because of blah, blah, blah. No, this is why we're better. And this is why I think you should use our product, and go through all the different things that make you stand apart, the value you can deliver, and the product, the end result that they will get. So I have no problem with you going out there, installing Inception. I'm excited for you. I really hope you can go post a picture and share it with us and see a video, because I think the fact that you're out there doing it is phenomenal. But to really raise the bar and raise the level for your company in the future months and years, like, get out there, get to an Omni training, go learn about the other products that are out there. And, some have their advantages over others, but in the end, it's really important for you to be knowledgeable on all of them.
100%.
All right. Not even a maybe. I would never personally. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, remember wreaths of that size, you're probably going to want to have 2 anchor points at the top. So basically, you're going to be at whatever that is, 10 and 2, I guess, like a steering wheel, and you're going to be whatever the bottom is, 5 and 7, to prevent twist and wrecking. Also, on big wreaths like that, if it's going over glass, make sure you put some sort of pipe insulation or something in the back to protect the back of the wreath from potentially scraping, scratching any sort of glass, or making some awkward noises. So yeah, definitely be mindful of that for sure. But I would not do any deep sea. I would go 100% cabling. Would be the airpass stainless steel cable would be my only option. And once again, do not let that touch on the building. So sometimes you're gonna have to put a little bit of insulation or something around that to protect it as well.
Very important, Jimmy. And I mean, we use it on 48 inch and 60. That's pretty much all we install. But taking some pipe insulation, we cut it in half, we zip tie it to the 7, the 5, and maybe the 1 or the 3 and the 9 and the 6, whatever it is. But yeah, for that reason, specifically for the wind. In the past, we didn't do that, and we've still got clients' homes that have the scrape marks on there. But using that pipe foam, pool noodle foam, whatever it is, super important. But I would not use fishing line. If you're worried about them seeing the line, that's not especially that high. I mean, everything we use is hanging wire, some real thick hanging wire that we get from Lowe's or Home Depot. But visually, you're not going to see it from that high if that's what you're worried about. Oh, you got Spencer out there, man. Spencer and Steve. Does Steve come by too? Was Steve there?
Oh yeah, they were there the whole time. Got some good old stories. The moral of the story is you take Steve gambling, and then if Steve's a gambler, apparently, really big gambler that you don't want to go with. No, they're a good time. They're excited to get him on the Omni train.
First time I met Steve and Spencer, I want to say it was 2019. It was at Sales Boost. I think it was 2019. And I walked in big meathead fire department guys, and they're sitting together. Steve's got the friggin' mustache. Spencer might have had it at that point too. And I was like, look at these fucking meatheads over here. Come to find out, two of the greatest guys I've ever met. Had a great time. Last time I got to hang, Sales Boost 2019 was out there. And last time we were in Equip, I got to hang out with them and went out to dinner with Angela out there. And just two. And, man, this would have been great. Spencer, I literally pulled out your shirt and almost put it on, but I outgrew it. My itty bitty muscles outgrew your shirt, so I need to get another Smile Like Spencer shirt. So, all right, Jimmy, I've got to get going. Angela's downstairs. Dinner's getting cold. Hopefully, you have your dinner coming soon. Again, it is October 21st. 21st, my lucky number, and I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight. Having an incredible season right now, like so much fun. Again. I like for my guys, they know one thing, and I scream it out all the time. I'm like, what's the number one rule? And everybody's like, have fun. And if you're not having fun right now, you're wrong. And in order to be successful, I truly think you need to have some fun. So if you're not having fun, like, let's figure out how we can have fun. If you got a team out there, you got some installers out there, start having fun with them. Tomorrow, we got a guy coming in. I think he's coming in like 5:30 tomorrow morning with his wife to make breakfast for everybody. He wanted to do it. I'm excited. We got some Baliedas coming in the morning. Angela and I, the kids, made breakfast over the weekend for the next 6 weeks for the team. It's there, ready for them to go. Every morning we try and have a little pep talk, with our clients. Again, even with our clients, every single person I talk to that is a sales guy, first thing I say to them is, like, if you're not having fun and if you're not more excited to hang lights on that customer's house than they are, there's no reason why they're going to buy lights from you. So when you show up to an estimate, be freaking excited. Put on a Christmas jacket. Hand him a candy cane. Give him a lookbook. I swear to God, I wish I had it with me. That the freaking green Christmas jacket that I have like 8 of them. I like wearing the green one. I don't know why. 30 yards away, when I see a client, they're like, oh, my God, I love the jacket. That's all they care about at that point. They don't care about how much the bid is. They don't care about anything because they care about how much fun they're about to have working with us. So every little thing you could be doing to have fun during this season will truly have an impact on your season. I can't stress enough. I will tell you all day, all night, have fun. Be safe. Like rule number 2, maybe more important than rule number 1 is be safe because we don't want anybody getting hurt. But they can go back and forth. Have fun, be safe. Be safe, have fun, whatever. But just do it. So if you're not killing it right now, killing it is right around the corner. But don't just wait for the phone to ring. You got to get out there. If you're not answering the phones, that's your problem. Like, if you're not answering the phones, then you don't care. You don't care about the client. You don't care about your business. You don't care about anything. So if you're not answering the phones, then I don't want to hear it. If you're not using multiple advertising, marketing agencies or marketing resources, Google Ads, Facebook, any type of social media, yard signs, wrap vehicles, uniforms, door knocking, whatever it is. If you're not doing that, then it's your fault because they don't have an opportunity or reason to want to call you. If you're not asking for referrals, that's your fault. You need to be asking for referrals. Who do you know that can use our services? Who do you know that would love to put lights up like you do? Like Jimmy says, give them a $200 credit. We have or not a credit. Sorry, don't use credit. Give them $200 cash. Get it out there. Don't be afraid to spend money to get clients to come in to use your services. If they've already used you, they know, like, and trust you, and they want to refer you to people who will know, like, and trust you for future years. Dave asked a question earlier about what is the average lifetime value of a client. For us, I think right now is about 4 years. A lot of that changed over the last 3 years because of COVID, and a lot of people were moving. So we had an influx of people moving from out of state, in-state, businesses, jobs. That was really having a big influx. We're like in a very transitional area right here. But I've got some clients who have been with us for 7 years. I've got some that have been with us for 1 year. But if they know, like, and trust you and you give them a great service, they're going to come back year over year over year, and the lifetime value will be incredible. So don't wait for that phone to ring. Create opportunities. Get out there. Be known, be present, be on social media, take advantage of all the free opportunities out there. Next door, ask for the sale. Go do the door knocks, go to the community events, go to the networking events, the chamber events, all the different things. Because if you're not doing it, somebody else is. Jimmy, that's all I got, man. I'm on a rampage over here. I'm going crazy. It's 15 minutes past time. I hope we delivered some value tonight. I know we had more questions tonight than before, so.
Love it. No, I appreciate it, man. Have a great night. You'll kill it tomorrow. If you guys are up in Kentucky, come check us out. If you're not, still check us out. Just not here. Come to one of our showrooms. But keep going out there, guys. Keep getting these sales. Have fun with it. Have a blast, and we're always here to support you. So,
Jimmy, where can they check you guys out? We have a location in Raleigh, or you have a location in Raleigh, Phoenix, Florida, Sarasota, right?
Yep. So got showrooms in all those places, and still got product flying in. So anything that we can do to help support you guys be successful. Got the bulk buys on the website. If you need an account, just reach out to our team, and we'll get your wholesale account set up within minutes. And rock and roll. Let's go have a successful season together. We all win together. We all have fun at this together. So let's go kick some tail, and don't forget to have fun while you're doing it.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you next week. We'll be back next Tuesday, 6:30.
And I'll be home, baby.
Jimmy, we're going to be next Tuesday.
Home. So excited.
Oh, Jimmy will be home. And again, if you have questions, please reach out. If you need support, hit up Lights for Decorators. They got tons of products still out there. Happy to see, I've got people messaging me all the time, asking me questions. If I'm available, I promise you I will get back to you as soon as I can. I want to help you. I want you to be successful. Your success is my success. Same thing for Lights for Decorators. Reach out to them, lightsfordecorators.com. Give them a call. Love to help you guys. Take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week at 6:30.
Appreciate it, bud.